Elite Facts presents
10 strange uses for beer.
10.
Bathe in it. So who honestly would have thought that beer is an excellent skin conditioner? Next time you want to have a long soak in the bath, pour in a good can of dark beer before you hop in and just soak it in. This is a nice alternative to adding salt crystals, which soften water. But we see no reason why you wouldn't combine both for a super luxurious bath. Now, just to be clear, as tempting as it might be, don't drink the bath water. Absolutely unhygienic, no matter how delicious you think it may be. Oh, and be careful if you go outside afterwards on a hot day. This next use will tell you why.
9.
Deter bees. Bees and wasps are pretty much alcoholics. They can't help but be attracted to beer. So instead of spending a fortune on citronella oils or candles, try putting a few open beer cans around the yard at your next barbecue. Obviously, you should put the cans away from where people will be sitting or standing. Oh, and make sure no one decides to have a swig from one of the cans when they're drunk. It'll result in a very unpleasant and potentially lethal situation.
8.
Soothe an upset stomach. Screw Pepto-Bismol. The best way to help a stomachache is to have yourself a nice refreshing beer. If you have an upset stomach, slowly sipping a can of beer can actually help to settle it down. And the alcohol has an anesthetic effect which helps to alleviate the pain. As most of you probably know, this is also a very effective hangover cure. Just be sure not to use this trick if you have an ulcer or gastritis.
7.
Polish your furniture. Next time your beer bottle leaves a ring of beer residue on the table you've left it on, don't worry about it. Beer makes a good polish for your furniture. Beer is a surprisingly good wood furniture polish. Let a can of beer go completely stale and flat and pour a little onto a polishing cloth. Buff your wood furniture and follow up with a final dry buff. You'll be amazed at how brilliant and shiny your furniture will end up looking.
6.
Marinate meat. Beer makes an excellent marinade. It really doesn't matter what meat you're preparing. It will benefit almost all types from a few hours, the longer the better, in a marinade of beer. You can really get adventurous too. Add any flavors you like to the beer, even things like a marmalade or jam. A more common addition would be soy sauce or other Asian sauces. If you're marinating pork, you might want to add some chunks of pineapple and pineapple juice with some ginger for a sweet and sour result.
5.
Naturally remove slugs. Let's be honest, slugs are incredibly annoying. Slugs are a terrible pest in a garden, particularly if you're growing fruit and vegetables for eating. Instead of using chemicals like DDT on your produce, bury a small saucer up to its lip in the garden and put fresh beer in it each day. The slugs will be attracted to the smell, get drunk, and drown. Be sure to refresh the beer daily. With a little luck, you should have a saucer full of slugs and healthy-looking cabbages.
4.
Fertilize your garden. Don't worry if you spill some beer when dealing with your previously mentioned slug infestation. Beer is a perfect fertilizer for your plants. The yeast and other extracts in a can of beer are very good for plants. If you end up with a pile of leftover half-drunk cans or bottles of beer, tip them out into the garden. Just watch out for cigarette butts if your guests use them for ashtrays. While some plants do like nicotine extract, not all do, and you could kill your prized plants.
3.
Wash your hair. Okay, this is one of the stranger uses for beer on this list. Who's honestly out there saying to themselves, "Oh man, I wish my hair smelled like a night of heavy drinking"? If you're one of those people, first off, get help. And secondly, there's a solution to your problem. Beer shampoo can add luster and body to dull, limp hair. It's also a much more natural alternative to store-bought shampoos, which contain a lot of chemicals. Just mix 1 can of beer with a raw egg, yeah, you heard that right, and use it as you would use a normal shampoo. It was quite common in days gone by to use raw eggs for shampoo. It even lathers up like the chemical stuff. Try it, we're sure you'll be pleasantly surprised. Just keep in mind that this beer shampoo will go bad if you don't use it within a couple of days. This is probably best as a once-a-month special treatment. You can also use beer on its own as a conditioner. Rinse your hair with it, let it dry off, and then rinse it off.
2.
Make a batter. You ever had beer battered onion rings? If not, you gotta try them. You'll not regret it, trust us. When making a batter, you often add a little raising agent, usually baking powder. But in this recipe, you use beer. The bubbles in the drink and the yeast provide the raising. So here's the recipe. Put 1½ cups of flour and ½ teaspoon of salt into a bowl. Pour in 1 12-ounce can of beer while mixing, and that's it. If the batter is too thick, add more beer. If it's too thin, add a little more flour. If you're planning to use this batter with fish, dredge the fish in flour first, remembering to shake off the excess. This is a great tasting batter that you won't regret trying.
1,
Barbecue a chicken. Okay, who here likes chicken? Sorry, you vegans and vegetarians. Okay, now who likes beer? Sorry, you straight-laced people out there. Now, who likes beer-cooked chicken? Sorry, everyone who ever lived ever. No, but seriously, this is an actual recipe, and to be fair, this has to be one of the easiest recipes around. You simply take a full open can of beer, stand a chicken on it, and throw it on the barbecue. We have a feeling someone out there would literally throw it in. Don't do that. It'll be very messy and very dangerous. Let us tell you exactly what we mean. The beer can is inserted in the neck area, where you would normally stuff the chicken, and stood upright. While the chicken cooks, the beer heats up and subtly flavors the meat. You end up with a tasty and surprisingly moist chicken. You should also rub a little olive oil over the chicken and salt and pepper it before starting. If you have a favorite rub, you can add that too. Oh, and make sure you drink half of the can first. It should only be half full when starting out. We're sure you'll have no trouble finding someone to help you with that part of the recipe. Cook the chicken with the barbecue lid on for approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes or until the internal temperature registers 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the breast area and 180 degrees Fahrenheit in the thigh, or until the juices run clear if you pierce it with a knife.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.